Okay. This is part 2 of my interview for my research paper with corruption within the police department. And today I have my co-worker Anthony with me. And he sat in on yesterday's interview, so he pretty much knows the topic and the reasoning behind the theory of why police corruption needs to be stopped and why it should also be deterred if it can't be stopped, and what methods needs to be done to deter and prevent corruption within the police department. So Anthony, what is your perception of corruption within the police department?
I mean, I watch a lot of true crime, so a lot of times you see police not maybe doing the best or just focusing on one person. So, I mean, with what we do, this is about all the interaction I have with police, so I don't really see it in our community as much as Brandon did, but me, like I said, I don't really see it as much personally, but I do see it through media and all that.
Why do you think it's important that corruption is stopped in any type of law enforcement?
Abuse of power is it's very easy to be able to abuse your power, so they should be held to a higher degree since they do have that power over us citizens.
With you coming from up north like myself, what type of incidents that you know of that you have observed where police corruption has been involved?
Well, my mom, it wasn't really in police, it was more in the corrections, but I mean, kind of the same. So my mom, she worked in the prison system for 30 years. So you see, it's a lot of it's a name game. Who do you know? Who's going to get you further? It's a lot of people being fake to you. So that's a lot of what I know. It's because secondhand from my mom and her experiences.
Now that you're in a profession that has to deal with law enforcement, how do you see, as far as like our job dealing with law enforcement, as in how fair they act towards people within the community and dealing with criminals in our perspective?
I mean, it's still a mixed perception. They do, whenever they want to do their job, they do it very well, I feel. But sometimes I don't feel like they want to do their job. If we call them whenever it's a little closer to the end of their shift, they might not want to get here as quick or come inside. They might want to wait until second shift. So I mean, I wouldn't really say it's corruption, but like you definitely see them not wanting to try as hard whenever they can pass it on to someone else.
What I've observed while doing my research paper, actually, that is a form of corruption, because what they're doing is actually milking the clock by how we've observed them sitting out there for like an hour, 2 hours, or whatever,
exactly.
Because they don't want to come in and handle a case because they know it'll carry them into overtime, but yet they prefer to sit there and bilk, the sheriff's department out of money by not doing anything at all when they could be doing something productive. So that right there is a form of corruption.
Oh, we definitely see that then.
How do you feel as though law enforcement can come together with the communities to combat corruption and get more trust from citizens?
Well, we did talk about shop with a cop, being able to go out into the community, being able to spread goodwill. That's always, I mean, being able to distinguish yourself from like in the community, being able to say like these are who works for us, being able to show like we have trustworthy people that are doing this. I'm not sure what all they could do around here. I mean, I feel like we get a good bit of diversity with our police around here. I feel like we don't have just one focus, so I feel like that's one good thing about being in Kissimmee. We definitely have a good diverse population, so you don't really see as much racism.
Right.
Not especially from up north where I'm from. So
Exactly. That I know exactly what you mean. Coming from up north myself, and noticing a lot more racism, where it's a lot more different perspective compared to down here, where it's a blend of different cultures, so many different diversities that blend in together, and they actually work alongside each other pretty well down here compared to up north, and also compared to states like Georgia and stuff like that. I've noticed. How do you think that the community would accept law enforcement if they were to work a little bit more closer, say if they held like types of clinics and stuff like that to get citizens involved, to learn like Citizens Academy and stuff like that?
I mean, being able to understand what they go through on a daily basis would definitely help out with how just the regular ordinary citizen would see their job. I have seen something where they put citizens in police situations where it gets dangerous, and citizens don't do very well at all. So being able to see what they go through on a daily basis, we get to see it firsthand. So I think I definitely have a lot more respect for police after doing this job. So if citizens could do that, I think that would be actually a good idea. So
how do you compare our job as a law enforcement type of field to police officers?
Police definitely get a lot more respect. We do not. We get called every name in the book, but police do have to still deal with the unfortunate people that we have to deal with as well, the homeless. I see that the police, they have their rules that they have to abide by, so and so do we. So it's easier to see how a citizen would perceive they're not doing their job as them not having the capability of doing that job.
So basically, do you see that with our field is kind of related more with law enforcement as well, because we have to learn laws and follow them just like a police officer does, and we do apprehensions and almost like a little bit different perspective than a citizen's arrest, because we have to be qualified. Do you think that is very important for law enforcement to do whatever they can, such as laws and maybe some type of training, and maybe increasing their wages to help with combating the temptations of corruption?
It's definitely would be better if the people that are enforcing our laws knew more of our laws, and being able to do their job properly. I mean, increasing their wages would definitely, I feel like, would be a good incentive for more people to want to join and to maybe build or to help out their community. I mean, it's not an easy job. Even looking from the outside, you see everything that's going on through social media. So I wouldn't say a whole lot of people want to go into that profession right now. It's definitely under a lot of scrutiny. So an increase of wages and maybe a little bit more understanding of the law would definitely help, I think.
Okay, well, thank you for assisting me with my research paper today. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. I think sitting on with Brandon, I think he covered most everything.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.